Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting tonight from San Antonio. Collapse of the Marcos government appears imminent. President Reagan, in a reversal, now is openly trying to help make it happen. Our reports begin with David Jackson in Manila.
Corazon Aquino's people power is proving the match of President Marcos's military might for now. Hundreds of thousands of supporters guarded rebel military leaders as they proclaimed her the new president and called on government troops to come over.
If you lay down your arms, if you disobey your orders, you will be welcomed by us.
Some loyalist soldiers did defect. Aquino was not to be seen, but her backers were hard to miss, staging peaceful shows of support. Not all was peaceful. A helicopter gunship strafed the airport and the presidential palace, hitting several government helicopters. Opposition forces attacked the government television station and took it over in the name of the people. People were everywhere, except within a wide belt around the palace, where President Marcos, appearing on other television stations, seemed isolated.
This is a small matter which we have control of.
An elite corps of guards kept boisterous opposition supporters well away from the palace, which became an armed camp, and the president vowed to hold out to the end.
I'll get back my sniper rifle, which I wanted to employ just in case it was necessary to protect my family.
He called on loyalist citizens to come to his defense, but only a few came to a palace gate late at night.
I'll die for our president.
However, not all were listening to the president. He ordered a dusk to dawn curfew, which went largely ignored and unenforced, as Aquino supporters held impromptu, if premature, inaugural celebrations. Later today, President Marcos will be officially sworn in to another 6-year term, and Mrs. Aquino will be proclaimed president at a mass rally. David Jackson, CBS News, Manila.
The one object the rebels really wanted and were willing to take by force was the government TV station. For many Filipinos, Channel 4 was a hated symbol of the Marcos regime. His was a TV dictatorship in which he could and often did present his views live at a moment's notice, day and night. During the rebel attack, Marcos was on the air from the presidential palace, and suddenly he wasn't. The operation left 2 dead. Tens of thousands came to the station, forming a human barricade to prevent a counterattack.
Channel 4 is on the air again to serve the people.
The rebel sign-on brought a new taste of press freedom.
My heart is very light, as if I've taken away 1 million pounds off my back.
Losing the government television station was a blow to Marcos. It cut his main avenue of appeal to the public. But more than that, it exposed to the whole country that things were slipping out of Marcos's control here in Manila. 6 hours later, the president was back on another channel. In this battle of the airwaves, Marcos and the rebels are attempting to win over troops who have not yet taken sides. Marcos says the army must retake Channel 4. Tonight, every approach to the station was blocked. Tanks from the palace did roll toward it.
Can you stop them just by sitting here in the road?
Yes! Yes! I'm willing to die for Filipino democracy.
The tanks turned around and returned to President Marcos. For now, John Sheehan, CBS News, Manila.
What may turn out to be the decisive phase of the uprising against Marcos began over the weekend when a deputy armed forces chief and the defense minister, Juan Ponce Enrile, quit and sided with the opposition. Both are now inside the rebel base of operations at a Manila Army barracks. A short time ago, I reached the base by telephone and talked with the former Marcos defense minister. Mr. Enrile, what will be the makeup of the what you call provisional government?
We are not organizing a military junta. We want to maintain the principle that civilian authority must prevail over the military, and that is why we agreed to restore democratic form of government immediately through the installation of Mrs. Corazon Aquino as president, Mr. Salvador Laurel as vice president, and the organization of a cabinet under